Hi everyone, welcome to another amazing session in the creative room with Kabir Adeyemo. This time we are going to be circling around another crucial topic that I personally think is the cause of at least 40% of misunderstandings in the creative industry. And again, this initiative is birthed from the utmost interest in creating awareness on the areas that are not spoken about enough in the creative industry. As a lawyer, I come across tons of matters daily, and many of them are caused by other factors and conversations that are not properly had. So this particular episode is going to be a mental awareness phase, right? And the topic is the mental cost of being a creative in Africa and how to stay in the game. So as a legal practitioner, I believe that protecting creative minds is as important as protecting their creative rights. So there's a lot of pressure in the industry from the creation of the works to the people that they work with, the expectations. So there are just several causing factors which we are going to be diving into today. And trust me, the topic is going to be very interesting. And I believe it's not going to be so long. We're just going to be targeting the key areas. So if you're an artist, if you're a photographer, if you're a creative, anybody in the creative industry, this is where you should be. And I'm joined by two amazing ladies today, and I really appreciate them for doing this with me. It's a true honor to have them on board. Miss Hope Odabi, she's a talent manager and a well recognized and award-winning one at that. And also Miss Ebonluwa Ogunyemi, she is also a mental health professional. I always love my guests to introduce themselves. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I was saying,
Doing
oh,
very
can
well,
you turn on
thanks.
your video? So I was saying, I always love my guests to introduce themselves because I believe that storytelling is usually done better by the people uh, that own the story, right? So I would like to start from you, Miss Ebonua. Can we meet you?
All right, thank you very much for having me. My name is Ebunluwa Uguyemi. I am a mental health professional with my specialization in children and adolescents, and I'm really interested in young adults, mental health awareness, mental health advocacy, access to care, and all the everything that surrounds mental health for young people. Mental health conversations are very important conversations, and we cannot do without having these conversations. So I'm really invested in mental health. Thank you for having me.
It's a good one to have you today. Let me quickly bring Hope on stage. Hi, Hope. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm great. The Nigerian
Good to
factor
have you.
was affecting me. Good,
I mean,
good to be here.
yeah, yeah, can we meet you too? I already introduced you
Um,
as a talent manager, but I believe you're someone of different forms. I want to share with us.
okay, hi everyone. My name is Hope Dabi. Friends call me Dabi. Please call me Dabi. I am a PR and talent manager, an author, and an all-round creative. I've been working with talents, so actors, actresses, artists, for close to a decade now. So I understand the power of having been in the right mental space and just being having that in check, especially as a creative. So that makes me excited to be here and having this conversation.
Yeah, good to have you. I'm going to bring it back up. Let me start with Miss Ebonloa. From your experience working closely with creatives, what would you say is the real mental and emotional cost of building a creative career in Africa?
Yeah. So for me in
Can you hear me?
Africa, yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you. So yeah, for me, I would say one of the biggest challenge in Africa really would be the lack of structure. And when I say lack of structure, it embodies different things. And when we talk about structure, you talk about the under visibility, for the lack of a better word now, the struggle amongst creatives. Everybody wants to be at the forefront. And the creative space now, we have a lot of people doing so many things in the creative space. You
Mm-hmm.
have one person and there are 1,000 other people doing the same thing that you're doing. So
Yeah, yeah,
there is this anxiety around, am I visible enough? Are people seeing what I'm doing? Am I out there? And then the numbers, there's the comparison. Am I doing as much as this person is doing? What exactly do I need to do to stay in the game? So there's really no structure that allows you to say, okay, this is my niche and this is as much as I can achieve in this niche area. You're not sure, a lot of uncertainty. You're not sure when the next gig is going to come, when, because you have one gig today, you're working on it, you don't know when the next one is going to come. I don't think there are
yeah, facts.
exactly rules that protect creatives in that sense. You're on a gig
Mm,
and somebody comes and there's a lot of disruption. The industry is saturated, so a lot of people are dealing with
yeah.
anxiety, visibility, and then there is also the time, the boundaries. People, a lot of creatives don't have
Mm,
boundaries. I'm sorry to say, this is a shade, and it's a shade to
right.
myself as well. No boundaries. And when I say no boundaries, a creative has an idea at 3 a.m. You're up on your system. You're trying to put
Mm-hmm.
that together. So what time do you get to rest? What time do you actually? I've seen creatives that work around the clock. They hardly ever get off their systems because they are trying to do as much as they can. So all of those things
That's true.
put together, yeah, all those things put together create some form of anxiety and then it burdens creatives generally.
Mm. I mean, that's so fantastic,
Hello?
and I think as lawyers too, it's a conversation that is not hard enough amongst lawyers because we usually have a lot to work on. This client is dragging you, another person is dragging you from left and right, and you're just trying to like keep up with everyone, try to like balance everything. At the end of the day, mental health is a
Absolutely.
conversation
Absolutely.
that you should always make sure that you're keeping yourself abreast of everything. So let me quickly bring Dabi, that she would like to be part of. So hi Dabi, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, yeah. So from your own perspective, right? I mean, you've worked with creatives in the industry, a couple of them. What do you think creatives are particularly? I mean, Miss Eben has been able to like mention some things, but for you, what do you think creatives are particularly vulnerable, or why do you think they are vulnerable to mental and emotional exhaustion?
I think it's the uncertainty. The
Mm,
uncertainty around, like she said, the next big thing. Even the ones that on top of the table, they want to stay
mm-hmm.
relevant. They want to still be on
Yeah.
top of the game. They want to be still the topic people talk about, the trend people talk about. It's even harder to stay than get there. That's what a lot of, thriving emerging talents do not know. That you see the pressure you are on right now to
Mm,
make it to blow. It's harder when you get there. So it messes up with a whole lot of things. And like she said, there is no
mhm.
boundary. They don't have, there's no, it's not a 9 to 5. It's a 24 hours round the clock commitment. It's I have this idea because I saw someone online, and it's not just about, like, it's a creative thing in general. Because I saw a lady run, she was running an ad and she's saying, oh, this is 2 a.m. I need to shoot 10 content. I'm on my third.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just about artists, actors, it's a creative, is a problem that's faced by all creatives at the moment. And it's the uncertainty around that industry. When to
Mm,
get the big
I
break,
mean,
when
that's
you get the big break to stay relevant, that uncertainty
mm,
and survival and ambition, everything all in one. Yeah.
mm, mm. I mean, I think that's deep. And Miss Ebon mentioned the other time that many of these creatives usually normalize overworking themselves, and they believe that struggle is part of the journey. But for you, what do you think are the impacts that that kind of mindset can have on them on a long term basis?
I think other than just the mental health, the pressure
Dance,
that they are always
yeah,
in, I think it makes even the major problem we talk about a big deal, which is that they chase
Yeah.
visibility rather than structure. So they
Mm-hmm.
tend to, what
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the next big thing. I want to. So you're chasing, you're not, you have to build your internal structure. And it's not just about your team, it's about your, so where you are mentally, it's about how you place things you say, my brand stand for and what it doesn't. Because if you're chasing virality, if you're chasing that visibility without a structure, without a plan, without what you stand for, you tend to just fall for anything and everything. And it ends up messing up with not just how you feel about yourself, but your stand
Mm.
on you as a creative. So I feel that tells on this creative when they, try to chase this uncertainty and try to do things because they want to be, the, I don't know, the talk of their industry or whatnot. It's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's thanks so much for that, Miss Ebon. So there's another factor
Yeah,
that
I'm here.
I think is very, very key. I was watching a podcast, I think yesterday, right, where someone was saying that social media is one of that addiction that you can get that is probably going to rewire how you think and the rest of it. So for you now, if social media is like deeply tied to creative work and visibility, just like we have known, what effects does content comparison and validation syncing have on mental health well-being? Because just like Darby mentioned, many of them are just trying to like seek validation.
Yeah.
Hello?
So, yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, please go ahead.
All right, thank you. So, when we talk about comparison, there is the absolute truth is there is somebody that is absolutely doing better than you are doing, whether you like it or not. Somebody else in your space is
Mm-hmm.
doing better than you are doing. But what a lot of creatives don't understand is that you have your own unique strength, regardless of how many people are in your field. So when comparison sets in,
Mm.
you're looking at the next person. How well is this person doing? You're checking the numbers. And then the thing about social media, the more buzz around the
Yeah.
person, the more likes the person has, the more engagement the person has. But at the end of the day, you're forgetting that your content might actually be what sets you aside from the other person. You can be doing the same thing with somebody, but in a
Mm.
different way. So when people are
Yeah.
comparing, you're looking at the other person, and then you start to feel like you're not enough. You start to feel like you're not doing well enough. Whereas in the real sense of it, a lot of these seemingly big creatives don't even post their struggles. They don't post the hard part of their struggles. You understand? So, and then you start to compare yourself.
Mm.
Anxiety starts to kick in. You're wondering, oh, if I put this thing out, will it do well? If I post this content, how people
Mm.
receive it? Is my job good enough? From anxiety, it spirals, and then you start to lose productivity because you're not sure of what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're not as productive as you're supposed to be. And as creative, the creatives use their minds a lot. As a creative, you have to make use of your mind, your like all your five senses, if I must say. So when anxiety
Yeah.
starts to kick in, you're not sure of what you're doing. You're not sure of what you're saying. You're not sure of what you're doing. Can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I can. Please
Hello,
go
can you?
ahead.
Oh, okay, great. So the old so it starts. Then there's the anxiety, and before you know it, you start to lose productivity. You're not doing as much as you're doing because you're not doing as much to be doing. Then there's this decline. Depression starts to set in, and then you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I really doing enough? Am I good enough? And then you lose your spark, forgetting
Mm.
that you're a different individual from the next person. So
Yeah.
social media comparison, and then I think social media has also created this thing where people don't actually pay attention to quality anymore. I'm sorry,
Mm.
but we now pay attention to a lot of things. has that is making the person relevant? What's the substance that is making the person relevant? So all of those things, by the time you start to look at it, and then you are doing it,
Okay. So
hello,
I think from everything that you've been able to say, can you hear me very well?
yes, I can.
Okay. So from everything you've been able to say, I was able to like pick out some things because um and my own notion is that some of these creatives don't even know when they are having mental instability. They are not aware that probably they are on they already approaching a particular stage where it is going to be unstable for them and all. So what do you think are the early on signs that creatives should probably be aware of that, oh, this particular signs means that I'm already approaching burnout or emotional breakdown?
Mhm. Okay, so first, like I said earlier, is drop in productivity. You're no longer feeling as much
Mm,
as you like. You're not up to it as much as you should. Secondly, you're not getting enough rest. Even when you sleep, you wake up and you realize that the sleep was not even enough. No matter how long you sleep, the sleep is never enough. And then you're beginning
mm,
to burn out at that point. And then there's also the part where you lose interest completely. You're just like, you know what?
mm,
I'm done. You don't, and then you start to withdraw. There's also the withdrawal. There is the cognitive decline. You're not able
mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm,
perform optimally. You're late on deadlines. Work now starts to feel like a chore, because for a lot of creatives, what they do is somewhat passionate. They're passionate about it. When that thing that you're passionate about starts to look like a chore, then
mm-hmm,
there's a problem really. So you start to feel like work feels like
mm,
a lot. You're not getting enough rest as you should, even no matter how long you sleep. Even if you sleep 8 hours, you still wake up tired. The energetic person that would always be out there socializing no longer wants to socialize. I mean, there is this keyword, and there's this keyword where you
yes,
say, I'm tired. They're always tired.
yeah,
Hi, how are you doing? I'm tired. The moment the fatigue starts to set in, you are tired more than usual, like than you ought to be. Then something is definitely wrong. You have to now start to check
something is wrong.
what exactly is going on. Yeah.
Mm. I mean, that's deep. That's a little deep. Dabi, are you? Yeah. So, I mean, as someone that you have represented and managed like a couple of talents, and you have been here like for a while, do you think the current ecosystem in Africa for creative is structured in a way that protects or maybe it's even neglecting their mental well-being?
I won't take away from the fact that we're having this discussion right now about mental health, and a lot of organizations have started taking, you know, strong process or strong um, stand on mental health and
Advocacies.
doing things, yeah, advocating
Yeah.
towards it. But I do not think we have the right structure yet. I don't think
Mm,
we are making the right move towards, supporting and building a strong backing around it for creatives. Because, like she
mm,
said, these people are going through a whole lot. It takes a whole lot to create, and
mm,
in this space we are now as Nigerians in Nigeria right now, you know what is going on. It takes a lot to, block all the noise, everything that's going on in our society, everything that's going on around you, and just create, because you know what, other than it being your passion, is your livelihood. For me also,
mm.
because she said something about the blackout, which I would have to touch because it's something that I have seen happen. I think
Yeah.
for creative is in three stages from what I have seen working with this talent. First is when the people around them know that, oh, this person is already getting burnout, like what's going on, but they don't know, they've not accepted it yet, right? The second stage is when they find out, is a bit shaky. You start getting attitude, this here and there. The third stage is the scariest stage because it's when they know and you know. That's when the cracks is
mm,
showing that, you know what, this person is tired, this person is stressed, there's something going on mentally that is not really physical, that you cannot
yeah,
help. It's a wound, you know, you can help heal with whatever, but something in is there's something
mm,
going on. And sometimes it's it's because of the things that align with them being a creative, the deadlines, the, you know,
mm,
just the demand in general, the peer pressure, the societal pressure, the industry pressure is just a lot. And I wish we can eventually get like the structure, you know, that can help with
mm,
solving this,
mm.
and us accepting that this is a problem that we need to look deep into and help creatives, you know, find their way around.
So I'm always advocating for creatives to always ensure that they are getting the business and the strategic and the legal side of their business, whatever career they are trying to have, very well. So maybe you can also assist and shed more light as to how important it is for creatives to understand the business and strategic side of their career, especially to avoid burnout or instability. Because a lot of creatives continue to subject themselves to the pressure, to the expectations of others, and they just continue to make certain mistakes that they are not supposed to if they had actually been stable and are able to properly analyze what they are trying to achieve and how they can actually get there.
Firstly, if you're a creative on this call, if you're a creative here watching us, I want you to, you know, take a time out to, you know, tell yourself that you're going to stop chasing virality and get a structure. That structure is
Mm,
what will help you. That structure is what will build you. That structure is what will sustain you. That structure is all you need. I know we all need virality as creative. We all need that viral moment that, you know, will pop us to the next audience that we do not have access to right now. But that structure is what
mm,
will keep you grounded when that virality comes. That structure is what will make you stay longer when that virality comes, because virality might be a one-time thing, but what you've placed in, you know, that foundation you have is what is going to set you apart. We are in a fast-paced world right now, not just industry. The minute you're having your viral moment, somebody else is having their viral moment. What is going to set you apart from that person having viral moment at the same time with you is that structure. And that structure is not just, oh, I have a team of people. I have, it's also you. What are you grounded in? What, as a
yeah.
creative, do you plan on doing? And what do you, come rain, come shine, are you not going to do? That is going, that's also integrity. And that's what is
Mm-hmm.
going to help you in the long run. That's what is going to set you
But
apart. Please and please be very, imagine the creative, imagine your talent as a business. Structure it right. Get
yeah,
everything right that will help you. You might not have the right money, or the you know, you might not have like the right people around you now,
the
or the
resources
money
are
you
now.
need to structure it. But start with your immediate circle. Look around you. There's somebody that can fit into the, you can't do everything alone. I see a lot of talent, and in fact, they have all the structure that you need. They have the managers, they have the legal team, they have I saw somewhere, I read somewhere where a talent manager, and I don't think he was even based in Nigeria, a talent a music lawyer was saying, one thing I hate is that you pay me for a service. I
Mm,
I read through your contracts and, oh, and you're using chat. You're still like, it stresses me so much. It's like, let your people do the work you get them in your
mm-hmm,
team to do, because that gives
mm-hmm,
you enough time to be a creative that you are. That is the
mm,
best advice I would give, because at the long run, is this is a marathon. Is going, if you do it right,
mm-hmm,
you're going to benefit from it, and your kids will benefit from it. So you need a structure so solid, so solid that it will stand
mm.
the test of time. And virality is not it. You need it, but it's not going to be that foundation you need to build on. No, it's not.
Yeah, Miss Ebonlua. So, like, flowing from what she just finished saying with respect to separating their their business structures. They're able to like identify and all. Like, there's one question I would like to ask you. How do you think creatives can begin to separate their identity and self-worth from productivity, validation, or public success?
Yeah. So the first thing is you need to understand that outside the work, outside work, you are
Mm-hmm.
an individual. You're your own person, an individual by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So now you need to take care of the individual. That's the person that you
Mm-hmm.
are, so that you can be
Yeah.
productive. So we need to creatives need to understand that who you are. So the analogy behind this is in this part of the world where
Mm-hmm.
we are, we we kind of marry identity and productivity. And why do I
Mm-hmm.
say so?
Mm-hmm.
Most times you don't look at the person. What you look at is what their outputs, their
Yeah.
productivity in that sense. But as a creative, you need to be able to know when to draw the lines, where to create your boundaries.
Mm.
This is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. Now, that would inform the amount of work that you put into your craft. So you need to be self-aware, know who you are, understand who you are. Then you need
Yeah.
to understand your work, your niche area. What do you
Mm.
have to do to make sure that you're on top of the game in your area, in your craft? When you have learned
Mm.
that and you have honed your skills, now you now need to understand your person, take very good care
Mm.
of your own self,
Mm.
ensure that you get enough rest. You're
Mm.
not overworking yourself. Because the truth is, whether you like it or not,
Mm.
like I said earlier, there's somebody that is doing better than you are doing.
Depth.
No matter how well you are doing, there's somebody else doing as much or even better than you are doing. So why is your productivity level determining your person? Because outside work, who are you outside work?
Mm.
Are you still, so if they take away work, can you still stand as an individual? Can you still do all the things that you do? Can you still love the things that you love? Take away your
Mm.
craft, take away everything. So self-awareness, you need to understand, you need to I've seen something in the creative space, and it's a bit unfair to creatives. And why do I say that? You see a creative that is in a particular niche area or is role playing now. Let me use that role playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fans, clients, fan base don't understand that this person is just role playing.
Europe.
Now they
Yeah.
start to project what that person is doing as who they are, as what they are. But as a creative,
Mm.
once you've learned the game, and then you're able to detach yourself from this is work, this is me, it would help you greatly to understand that where do I draw the lines between work and myself, the individual that I
Mm.
am. So that is very, very important. Self awareness. You need to know who you are outside work. Spend time with yourself, sit with yourself, stay grounded, do the things that you love, the things that bring out the person in you. And then you'll be surprised at
Yeah.
how much how much you would do once you understand yourself. You're able to know, okay, I'm getting tired here. I need to step back. I need to rest. Work would always continue, and work would outlive
Definitely.
all of us at the end of the day, whether you do it or not. If you don't do it, somebody else will do it. That's absolute truth. So productivity should not determine your self worth should not determine your productivity, and your productivity should not determine your self worth. Yes, I know that
Mm.
we need to put in more work and all of that, but you need to understand that outside work, you're an individual, and you need to treat yourself as such.
Mm. I mean, like from all the conversation that we've been having now, with Daddy and with yourself, we've not mentioned substance abuse in the creative industry, and I think that is also a very, very key factor that contributes to what causes mental instability in the industry. I've had a personal encounter with a particular creative, um, who I offer legal services to. It's got to a particular point. I mean, I can we can interact as friends and the rest of it. But there was this day that this guy called me and I was like, he has a babe, he has two babes, he has two girlfriends. I should help him to call the other one to come and watch him play. I was like, if he doesn't come, if she does not come, are you not going to be able to like play? He was like, no, that is Amora. I was like, is there more to it? Maybe like spiritually or something. He was just like, no, like it's just he just wants her to be around. That was when I noticed that this person is not okay, like does not look okay. Because why are you calling me to call your girlfriend for you? Like it sounds funny, but right now the guy is currently under medical in a mental health asylum or something now. So it's very serious and it's recurring. It's so much in the industry that it's so sad when talents and creatives subject themselves to too much of drugs and they are not able to like control it at a point, the addiction and all it continues to like affect them. So is there a particular real time experience that you can probably share with us with respect to your interaction with maybe a creative or just anybody who had to like undergo mental instability at any point?
Yes. So you see, when it comes to substance abuse, with my interaction with some creatives and some young people now, one thing that has been consistent and that they say that cuts across board is I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to do more. And then
Mm,
I ask, and then one question I always ask is, do you need substance to
mm-hmm.
actually be productive?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in therapy, you need to understand that if you're not able to do the things that you do without any external factor, and in this case now being high on substance, it means that you don't exactly know what you're doing. Please don't get me wrong, and I say this
Yeah.
with I mean, I'm saying this, I'm not trying to judge now. I'm not trying to judge people who use substance.
Decently
There are
well.
so
Yeah.
many reasons why people use substance.
Yeah.
But the truth is, without the external factor, if you're having to use substance so that you can be creative, so that you can stay on top of your game, it means that you don't exactly understand what you're doing.
Mm.
And also, there is the part where creatives get burnout. You know, when we started this conversation, we talked about the lack of structure. You want to be
Yeah.
on top of the board. You want to be at the you know, at the top of
Number
everything.
one.
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't know when.
Top
So
three.
because of the need to stay relevant, they
Yeah.
start to push, and then you continue to push, you continue to push, and then you push beyond your bandwidth to what your body can naturally take,
Eh,
and then the use of substance comes in, and then before you know it, it spirals. It takes just one moment of ah, try this thing. It will give you the there's this word now they use. I can't remember the word exactly, but just try this thing. It will give you all the ginger that you need. You get all the no.
Mm.
As creatives, it is okay to say I am tired. It is okay to take a break. It is okay to say I've been working. I've you know, like Miss Hope said, once you've created your structure,
Yeah.
it help you a great deal to know that okay, I have my work planned out. I know what I'm supposed to do part time. It helps you to create more time for yourself. So aside from substance abuse, there's also the financial uncertainty. There's been this thing
Mm.
about content creators not making money as much on the internet, and that conversation has just been everywhere.
Mm.
And I'm seeing a lot of creatives coming out to say, content creators are not making money, yeah, yeah, yada yada yada. it's the financial instability is something that is
mm,
as important as everything else. You don't know when the next big thing is coming. You don't know when that big gig is coming again. So that one that you have, you're going to hold on to it, and you're going to do everything that you want, anything to just stay relevant. But at the end of the day, if you treat your craft
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
like a business, like Miss Hope said, you know that in business, it's not every day you make money in business. It's not every day you get
yeah.
profit.
Mm,
Everybody, of course, you want to make profits. That's the reason why you are in the game. You want to make money. But you need to understand that outside making money, there's a there is a lot of other things that you can do. There is the part of making impact. It doesn't have to be money alone. What are you using your space for? What are you using your social media platform, the buzz that you have, the influence that you have? What are you using it for? So there's a lot of
mm,
when you look at it generally, there's substance, there's the financial instability, there's the uncertainty about so many things. There is also the perception, the public perception. How do the public see me? Am I still
yeah,
relevant?
yeah.
There's the need to stay relevant. And that's why a lot
Mm,
of people do
mm,
the things that they're not supposed to do. Please, if you're creative and you're on this session, doing drugs would only just make you worse. Because once
mm.
addiction sets in, addiction is one of the toughest mental conditions to treat. It is
Yeah.
one of the hardest. Because please don't even start it at all. If you've not started, don't start it, don't venture into it.
Mm.
And
Thank you so much.
if you have, find a way to win yourself off it. There are other coping
Mm.
mechanisms that you can use. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be substance. There are a million and one other things that you can do to stay to increase your productivity and to help you stay on top of your game. So
Do
please,
you
I'm begging.
probably want to highlight those other things that they can do?
Yes, absolutely. First, create a social network.
Mm.
Look for like minds in your space. One thing we don't understand is we don't understand the power of network, society, our social circle. If as a creative you're having a mental block, you can always talk
Yeah,
to a fellow creative. Oh, I'm trying to work on this project. I'm having a mental block. How do you think I should proceed
mm,
with this?
yeah,
That circle would always save you when you feel like everything is blank.
mm,
And one of my biggest, I was going to mention it earlier, and one of my biggest reservation with that, or one of my biggest issues with when it comes to social networking is gatekeeping.
yeah.
Creatives gatekeep because you want to stay relevant. You're not putting information out. You're not giving your fellow creative the information that they need. Like
Mm,
they say, the sky is wide enough for everybody for the birds to fly. There are
mm-hmm.
over 200 million people in Nigeria. If they don't find your work interesting, they will find another person's work interesting. You understand what I'm trying to say? So,
Yeah, yeah.
as creatives, you need to understand that you need your social network. You need your people. You can't do it alone.
Mm,
Being a creative requires that it's a lot of brain work. A lot of brain work. You're thinking of what content to create. If I let's even leave content creation as a product designer, a tech person, you're using a lot of mental energy to work. So if you don't
mm-hmm.
have a social circle of people that you can fall back to, and even outside work now, you're not even going to them for work. Those people that you can hang
Mm-hmm.
out with, your guys that you can call and say, you know what, guys, I'm tired. Can we go out? Can we take a break?
Yeah,
Share your stories
yeah.
with your circle.
I mean,
Secondly,
that makes a lot of sense. That
yes,
makes sense.
secondly, physical activity. Physical activity is you see, when I talk about physical activity for creatives, I know of someone who would stay in their apartment for like 3 days without going outside. You're not getting sunlight. And when they're inside the apartment, all the blinds are dark blinds. The room is
mm,
dark. They say that's how they get their juice
mm,
flowing. That's okay. I mean, if you've mastered that, but you need to understand that you need to step out. You need to get sunlight, touch grass, physical activity, walk, exercise, eat healthy. All of these things have a way of coming together to influence the kind of work that you put out. Eat healthy, work out, and importantly, speak up, ask for help.
mm,
When you realize that, oh, this thing is getting beyond me, I can't handle this anymore, it's okay to speak to a therapist. And there's a misconception in this part of the world that only people who have mental illnesses see mental health professionals.
yeah.
And that's not true. In fact, if we were to go by the real world of mental health practice, for every decision you want to make, every major decision you want to make, you should have
Mm,
your therapist in the room. You should
mm,
run it by your therapist. I just got a new gig. Let your therapist know. Because you realize that your therapist helps you to stay grounded. Your therapist knows when you're falling off. Your
mm-hmm.
therapist knows that, oh, my client is not getting enough sleep. Something is definitely wrong. You're not eating enough. You're not going out as much. So three things. First is build your social circle. It's very important. Build a community of like minds, people that you can relate with, people that you can share your struggles with, you can share your wins with, you can share your story with. Physical activity, exercise, go outside, touch grass. Stop staying inside your room. Stop staying locked up in your room for days. All in the name of, oh, I'm working. I have a mental block. In fact, when you have a mental
Yeah.
block, it's the best time to go outside and go and get fresh air. That's the best time for you to actually
Yeah.
go outside. And thirdly, ask for help. There's nothing wrong in seeking professional help. Once you see that, oh, something doesn't
Mm.
feel right, please ask for help. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, breakdown. It was really, really insightful. Dabi, thanks for staying around. So when she was explaining the substance use and all, I see that you were smiling. Maybe you have a gist for us. I think recently Ice Prince said something about him spending thousands of dollars on whatever weed, and it's just one person that he has been buying from, one dealer. That's addiction and a lot of financial. Maybe he has the money, but is it financially wise to spend that much on something that will probably just make you continue to like come back? Because at the end of the day, if he calculates all those money, if he invested or he probably built a real time property, maybe he would continue to see that. But substance use is just maybe one day, few hours, and that's it. So do you have a particular real time gist for us, maybe with any creative or maybe someone that you know, just
Oof.
for education purpose.
So when she was talking, I think I was laughing so hard that I had to catch myself and be like, oh my God,
Yeah, I
I
saw
wish
it.
some people are on this and listening to her.
I
Because
saw it.
firstly,
Right.
the thing about pressure, so one of the um major problems creative have that I have seen is
Mm,
that they fight with peer pressure and just wanting
mm,
to be like some people that they don't need to be like. The peer pressure to look
mm.
cool, the peer pressure to be at a certain place, at a certain party. You're not even out there. What are you doing in a strange party? The peer pressure to, dress a certain way, smoke, the
Yeah,
peer pressure to take drugs. I don't even want to mention name. Oh, I want
I
to
can
always
relate.
feel happy. Oh, this guy is always happy. He said this is what he's doing, so I want to always be
Yeah,
happy. So I'm onto something that I don't understand. Then they fall into something that
I want to
number
move slow.
one, they fall into something that they cannot even handle. They fall into something that they cannot manage mentally and financially. Like the ice creams conversation, you can imagine the
Mm-hmm.
amount of
Mm-hmm.
money spent. And I saw a lot of music exec under the comment section say, "Oh, I know somebody that spent worse." And he said it's just from one dealer, just from one dealer, not the other ones. That's his specific, his main dealer, his main chick dealer got that amount of him. So imagine what the others got. So
Someone's source of income.
you can imagine what people tie themselves to because of peer pressure,
Yeah.
because they want to be a certain way, because they want to be team cool. And it's just crazy. I know of it's I don't want to, because now you're telling me tell stories. There's stories for days on these people and how it started. That if they had taken maybe one or two from what she advised you do when you know you're feeling burnt out, you're having creative block, and you want to do some, step out. There are a lot of people I know that would prefer to be in a room, an enclosed room, and complain about them feeling sad, feeling gloomy, feeling this and that, instead of going to places where they meet like minds,
Mm,
instead of creating a community. And by
mm,
creating a community, you don't need to force yourself into any friendship group, any circle. Let it happen organically. Let it be people
true.
that are like minds, because that one you force will never be your own. There are a lot of people in your industry, like I think somebody was saying it recently, that grew with each other over time. You're not going to come into that circle and be in the
Mm,
same stage or level with them when it comes to the friendship or connection. No, it takes time. You have to learn to build your circle. That is what would help you. You have to be around people that you relate to when it comes to creativity, when it comes to talent, and when it comes to even your self-worth and what you can do. Sometimes you meet people and
yeah.
they click when it comes to the level of creativity, but real time, if you take yourself out, if you're in two different industry, you're not going to roll with that person, because what they do you can't do it. So why are you in that circle? Why are you in that relationship? Why are you in that situation? Or you learn how to say, you know what, this is just very work related, I don't want anything personal with this person, for your own mental health, for your tomorrow. Because
Mm,
a lot of people will make you start things that you cannot keep up with. And that will break not just you as a talent, but as a
yeah.
person. As a talent manager, I always say that a talent, when you manage a talent, you're managing two people in one. You're managing the first person with the government name, and you're managing the talent. You're managing that person with the government name as per. Don't do things that will
Yeah.
affect the talent, because whatever the person is facing as a chibuz or that is a star boy, if he's facing it and we don't find a way to copy it or solve that problem, it's going to affect Starboy, which is going to affect the business. So we
The
have to
brand.
manage these people. Yeah, it's going to affect the brand. We have to manage the individual with the government name, and we have to manage
Yeah.
the creative. And you as a talent, as a creative, what you would do as an individual that will affect your brand, please do not. What you know that you start and you cannot finish, please do not. Things that will give you that quick high, that quick buzz of happiness, and not be able to sustain it, please don't do it. Because the long run, the end of the story is never
Yeah.
fantastic. Addiction is one of the
Mm,
hardest thing to cope, is one of the hardest thing. It's easy to get in,
mm,
very hard to come out. Only a few people do. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of it takes a lot from you, that you would have used, that
yeah.
energy you would have used on
Sure.
something else. There are a lot of creatives right now, young, old, legends, imagine, that have dipped their hands into things that they wish they didn't,
They
but
didn't
they will
start.
not tell you. So if you now say,
Mm,
oh, this is what this guy is doing, that's the next new car, and you jump into it, that's on you. Before it's too late, please don't. Please do not. I don't know how else to speak. I can't speak Yoruba. I would have added it. Say, please don't.
yeah. So I think you started something which I very much like. The impact of managers, industry stakeholders in the lives of these creatives, right?
Yeah.
Can you like just briefly buttress more on that? Because really, at the end of the day, I used to say that I might be doing some things that I might not even know that it is wrong, right? It takes another person to tell me. that it is wrong before I can now say, oh, let me reassess it, and probably if it's wrong, or I want to like stand on that opinion or whatever it is. So can you just like briefly buttress on that part? So I mean, creatives, their managers, their industry stakeholders, everybody around them, executives in the industry too,
Yeah,
can be
as
aware.
talent managers or or execs or part of the management board of any creative,
Mm,
I urge us all to look beyond performance metrics, look beyond like followers,
mm,
whatever. Sometimes sit back and just check on the mental health of our talents. Check on
mm,
them. Not just meant like are they fine in general, because that is going to affect the output of whatever we're delivering. So if we are focused on just numbers and what would bring us the money and forgetting the
mm,
vessel that carries this, long run is
yeah,
not going to do good for it. Takes so much as a music, not just a music, as in a manager or someone in the
creative,
management team
yeah,
to
yeah,
get a creative on track. So you should
yeah,
always take care of the vessel that carries this whole thing. Ask them if they're fine, what's going on.
mm,
Not because you want to hear gist or whatever, but just so that you have an idea of their mental health or where they are at a certain period of time. Like, is this person good? Other than what we are making, other than the numbers we're raking up online,
mm,
is this person good? And also for the industry in itself, especially the industry stakeholders, need to look into creating a structure or system that can help educate, that can help, you know,
yeah,
invest in the mental health of our creative. I think we look away from that too much.
mm,
There's just so much the industry stakeholders can do to help this talent know that no,
yeah,
it goes beyond this output that we're giving. We need to create a structure that would help them, that will educate, will mentor these talents into, because a lot of this talent gets into the
mm,
industry, or these their various, like she said, they're still it's not just about artists or whatever. They're graphic designers, the people that even behind the scene. These guys are
photographers, yeah,
also
yeah,
photographers, videographers. They're also creative, and a lot of these people
yeah,
get into the
yeah,
industries or their industries at a very young age. And you consume a lot. You consume a lot. You take too much that sometimes you forget to sit back and just rest and just think about yourself as an individual, not as a creative trying to get the
mm,
get the, because we
yeah,
work with real time. So the industry, our industry stakeholders need to look into creating a
mm,
system that is also about educating and mentoring them about their mental health in a way that make them feel warm and welcomed. Is needed,
right.
and we can't overstress that, really.
Yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate you, Dabi. I really appreciate you, Mr. Bolua. So while we are trying to wrap up, can you just share your final words for creatives and everyone in general, actually, because at the end of the day, there are different industries. Of course, this session is majorly targeted for creatives, but at the same time, people in different industries go through stuff. People in different industries like undergo pressures from their workspace, from their relationships, from their daily life. I mean, it's just a lot of things, a lot of factors. So what's your final words of advice for everyone? And hopefully, I mean, your words can shake something inside them, and maybe they can be up again. I'll start with Miss Ebonua.
Okay. So first, I would start by saying there's no health without mental health. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
you cannot do as much if your mental health is suffering. Like Gabby said, creatives and the managers and the stakeholders need to pay attention outside the buzz, outside the numbers, outside the metrics. Are you treating your talents like real human beings, or are they just numbers to you?
Mm,
Have you created some sort of structure
mm-hmm.
that allows your people to know that they are cared for and that somebody actually genuinely sees them outside the scope of work?
Mm-hmm.
So this is for stakeholders now. Please, let's incorporate mental health awareness assessment into the scope of work. I believe that every talent should have a professional on standby. It should be part of the requirements
mm,
of work as a stakeholder. Once you're managing this person, please, who are you speaking to? Who is your professional when it comes to your health? And I'm not even speaking about mental
yeah.
health alone now, even your physical health. Are you doing your routine checks generally? Imagine an artist goes up stage and falls off, and then the next thing you hear is the person is gone. Why?
Mm,
They're not doing the routine checks. I mean, I, apologies to people who have gone down that path. A lot of creatives don't take care of themselves, and it's because it is work, 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 work. The money, the numbers, they need to stay relevant. So please, and then for talents themselves, it is just you. The music continues even if you're no longer in the game. Work would continue. That's your niche area, that thing that you're doing that seems like, oh, it's the big thing. If you're no longer there, somebody will do it. So you need to take care of yourself. You need to look after yourself. Your mental health is speaking from my own area, and that's mental health. It is very important that you look after your mental health. Please. Every other thing is secondary. If your mental health is not at par at optimal, work will suffer. Your
mm.
creative juice will be low. You'll just be struggling. So please, lastly, don't do drugs. I cannot overemphasize this. I cannot. Please say no to substance abuse. And let me tell you something. If you check, and I'm going to speak outside Nigeria now, international talents, go and check the records of suicide in these people. You would almost find that there's a case of substance use. So there's a connection between substance use and suicide. And we don't
Mm.
want to lose our talents. We don't want to lose our people to suicide and all of that. So please do not. If I let me say that be said she don't know how to say it in Yoruba. Let me say it in Yoruba. Ejo,
That's
ejo,
wonderful.
ejo, Emma she drug. Don't venture into it at all. And if you have started, please seek professional help. You can actually curb it and you can get out of it. It will be hard, but please seek professional help. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That, I mean, that was really great. I enjoyed that. That you actually speak your dialect, though, sure, you know.
Oh, please, I can't even do that.
Wow.
So, she, I don't know how to say this, but I'll start from where she stopped. Please do not do drugs. Is not, it will not end well. It never, you see that statistic is real. A lot of these guys that ended with suicide, there's something around drugs in that story. You do not
Mm,
want to end that way. We need you, if you don't know, in case we need you, and we don't want you to end up that way. And for every individual, whether a creative or not, take your mental health seriously. You see, that headspace is all you have. Take it seriously. Find a support system, people that understand you, understand what you're going through, and would help you, sort that issue the right way. Have that second, take time away from work to just find yourself. As creatives and as even professionals, there are a lot of people that don't know who they are outside work. You have to find a very good balance to know that, though, I do this to relax, this helps me calm my nerves. You have to
mm.
find it and learn how to do it. You have to love yourself in the process, not because of what you can achieve, not because of the metrics, but because you love yourself. That will stop you from doing a lot of things that you do not need, because
Yes.
you want
Yes.
to be, you want to solve that issue. Thank you so much for having me. This was insightful. Everyone, I'm going to say hello, hello, hi, because there's a group of ladies that would want to hear you speak. And this was amazing. This was really amazing. This was really amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Daddy, thanks so much, Miss Ebolo. I mean, this has been insightful for me as a professional. I've been able to like pick the one that affects me. I've been able to like also jot down some certain things as to what creatives need to do to better their crafts and to even better their awareness, their health, right? I think it's a conversation that should be taken further than just this 1 hour call. It's very important for us to continue to sensitize, which Miss Ebonlua has been doing, and Dabi also in her own way has been doing some sort of foundation and all. I mean, Dabi, do you want to like share with us what the impacting initiative you're currently like onto?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm excited to even share it. June 4th, we will be going. I have an NGO, the Hope Circle Foundation, and we're kickstarting School to School Teen Summit. So we're going to secondary schools and teaching these kids the positive use of social media. I guess that's a good head start when we talk about mental health, because when these kids are in a positive mind frame, know what to do, know what not to do, peer pressure
Yeah,
reduces, and they align with their purpose without getting involved in things that they shouldn't be involved in. So I'm very passionate about this. Not 100%. I didn't know it had to attach to mental health, but now that you're saying it, I'm like, yes, that's true. It has a way of
I
aligning with
mean,
mental
it's
health. So
very
we're starting
important.
with that.
It's very important because
Yes.
most of this mental instability starts early on. You'll be very surprised, or you might already know that many of these secondary school children or primary school children are already been exposed to some certain things, abuses, maybe substance, or even like whatever, maybe the academic pressures and all. So it kind of affect them because they are in a competitive setting and they have to like always make sure that they want to. I mean, for someone that is not top of their class, they go back home and their parents are not very good with handling them repeating classes or them coming 30th in the class and probably always chastising them and all. So it's going to continue to like affect them in the next term, the subsequent sessions and all. So it's just best to always, as much as we can, because I feel like mental health awareness is general, like it's everywhere, at every stage, at every industry and all. So it's just best for us to continue to like sensitize as we can about it. Thank you so much once again. It's been very great, and I mean we appreciate the fact that we even like sent you the invites and you turned up, and it's
Thank you so
I'm
much for
I'm
having
very
us.
appreciative of it. Thank you so much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
I mean, I
much.
just wanted to quickly
So
add something to what you guys said about
yes.
mental health in young people. I mean, and it is backed up by research and statistics shows is that over
Okay.
70% of people get their first episode of mental illness before the age of 17 now. So that's within the age range of young
Mm-hmm.
people in secondary school, if you look at it statistically. So yeah, so it's important that you incorporate a part of mental health. So like social media and the effect of social media on their mental health, how they can work around social media and how it affects them. So I mean, great work you're doing, guys. Amazing work.
Right. Right. Amazing. Well done.
Thank you. Well done too.
Thank you so much. Oh, I can't hear you,
Hmm.
Kabi. Oh,
I think
can you
your
hear
network
me?
is glitchy.